It's Chad, Nobody Else's Auto. 7 o'clock Tuesday evening, time for some Toy Tuesday. Tonight we don't have a lot of cool stuff to check out, but we do have some stuff that came across at one of our friends at Car Auction Real Estate. They had a couple of auctions a few weeks ago and ended up with kind of some cool pieces there. A couple of things I'm going to keep, a couple of things I'm going to sell. So like I said, not a ton of stuff to check out tonight, but still some really cool all auto related type stuff. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get into some of this stuff. Like I said, probably won't be on extremely long tonight. Mike from Texas is here with us, though. We're ready to go. So let's check this stuff out. As always, comments, throw them up there. We'll sure try to get them as we move through here. And let's check out some of this stuff that I just picked up recently at a couple of super cool auctions. First off, it's kind of a patriotic piece, and it's pretty unique. David W. is here. Randy's on with us from the Susank Oil Company. Now, the Susank Oil Company was in our neighborhood about, say 15 miles north of where we're at. Bill Disk is here. So this is a patriotic piece, and it's also a calendar. Our liberties we prize, and our rights we will maintain. The Susank Oil Company, your friendly mobile gas dealer. Phone 42F11, Susank, Kansas. Nathan's Mopar Garage is here. Kevin L is on with us. So check this piece out. Very patriotic. Up here in the corner, the Susank Oil Company, your friendly mobile gas dealer. So this was a wall hanging. Jeff from Canada is here. Bill Wagaman's on with us. And it's not a huge piece. About 8 inches by 6. So it's a 6 by 8 patriotic piece. Now, what's kind of cool about this, just a wall hanger. Numero uno on a riverboat in Alabama. Sounds like you're having more fun than us. Newton Manufacturing Company, Newton, Iowa. But we all see this little piece sticking out here at the bottom. There's your calendar. 1943. So this piece is 80 years old. Still looks pretty good for its age. Next piece we're going to share with you, also a local piece, probably not near as old, probably 30 years old, from one of our Texaco distributors, Mater Oil Company. This is a thermometer, which I don't think works, but obviously has the Texaco logo on it. Brian's here with us. Now, I know this has a little age to it because we are, as you guys that have called me know, 620 area code. This still says 316. PFF Flyer. That's true. That was a heck of a year. Anybody looking at that, that's for sure. Yeah, you could change them. That's for sure. That maybe it's a few years older than that. But in the late 90s, our area went to 620. So this thing being 316 is obviously prior to late 90s. So it's at least 25 years old, if not a little older. Not a real fancy one, just black and white, but it does have the Texaco logo on it. It is a local piece for me. So there again, sometimes the local stuff is pretty cool to keep that in your collections. Up next, we've got another calendar. This one's a little bit earlier, and it is from a Ford dealership. And this Ford dealership is about, 70 or 80 miles north of where I'm at. Obviously, I don't ever remember hearing about this dealership. It's been gone for a long time. But probably the reason I don't remember it is this piece is almost 90 years old. For the Woolley Service Station, Ford Sales and Service, Osborne, Kansas. Somebody has already framed this piece. Has the old sailor with the little kid looking out of the telescope. Woolley Service Station, Ford Sales and Service. Telephone 335, 3-digit phone number. The calendar from 1934 on this piece. Kenneth's digging it. And then it's got the Universal Batteries logo on each side of the calendar. So they obviously sold Universal Batteries at their service station as well as Ford cars. I assume Ford cars. It doesn't say tractors or anything. So I'm assuming that was Ford cars. And there again, a piece that's almost 90 years old. It's got damage over here. We can see where it's got some tears in it. This corner's tore out. But fortunately, someone did a nice job of framing that to preserve it from any further damage. I've not tried to take this out, so I don't know if there's anything on the back or anything. We obviously see a big tear over here, but obviously somebody did do it right and preserved it, you know, for all this time. So kind of a cool piece. Of course, obviously 34 Fords, crazy popular cars, and definitely a unique piece there. So, I told you we didn't have a lot tonight, but we do have one more piece that is completely off the wall for me. It is car related, but it's stuff that I don't mess with, don't know anything about, don't even have one in the yard. But it was a car sign, it was at an auction, so I had to buy it. Actually, it's a partial car sign. Now, as a lot of you guys know, in today's world, when a sign company takes down a dealership sign, they are supposed to destroy them. Reason being, obviously, GM, Ford, Chrysler, they don't want your local used car lot or repair shop putting up one of their OE signs out front. So they are all supposed to be destroyed. That's why these plastic signs in today's world are going to be so tough to find, similar to the bow tie you see behind me, my big plastic Plymouth up over here. You know, a lot of this stuff, you're just not going to see a lot of it. So this next piece is only a chunk of a sign. I'm sure it was, in theory, destroyed, but they cut the name out of it and somebody preserved that. So nothing I'm probably going to keep. I'll probably take it to the Wichita swap meet with me and sell it, because it's definitely a car that I don't do much with, don't know much about, and never really have been that into them. But it was a car sign at an auction, so I had to buy it for Mercedes-Benz. This is the chunk out of a plastic sign that would have been, you know, out in the front of a dealership. They didn't, you know, you can see these lines aren't perfectly straight. So somebody cut this chunk out of the sign to save this piece of it and save the script. There was no logo there. This was all that was there. And this piece is 65 inches, so a little over 5 feet by 11 inches. So it's a little over 5 feet long, almost a foot high. So that would have come out of a sign that was probably, you know, at least 6 foot square, if not 8 foot square, to just cut this chunk out. Kenny's here with us on the Mercedes sign. So for a Mercedes guy, great piece. Not necessarily in my wheelhouse specifically, but it was a car sign at an auction. You know what happens when I get at a car sign where there's an auction with a car sign, and I had to buy it. So, like I said, that's probably going to be some good trading stock down the road, or possibly for sale, but something a little bit different for sure. So anyway, like I said, I didn't have a ton of stuff for tonight. Trying to get things ready to hit the road, getting ready to go to Springfield swap meet next week. So I've been a little busy around trying to take care of other stuff. But I knew we hadn't done this stuff tonight. And to be honest with you guys, sometimes some of this stuff on Toy Tuesdays is getting confusing as to what we have and haven't done. So I need to take a little time to sort through some stuff. So Jim's here with us. But we're going to take one more quick look at these other pieces for you guys that just jumped on a little bit late. The Texaco thermometer. You want a wall sign story? Yeah, we can squeeze one of those in, number one, since we're a little shorter tonight, although we're doing okay on time, we can sure do a wall sign. The Susank Oil Company calendar from 1943. And the 1934 Ford calendar from the Woolley Service Station in Osborne, Kansas. And another cat. So anyway, number one wants to do a wall sign. So what wall sign do you guys want to talk about tonight? Anything anybody has any questions about? Anything anybody's seen in the background that looks kind of cool? Anything like that? We got signs over here. We got signs over there. We got signs everywhere. We even got signs up there and over there. So what's anybody want a story about on a wall sign? This was number one's idea, and it's a great idea, especially when, okay? Especially when we got a little bit of extra time. Be a great time to squeeze one of those in. If there's something anybody in particular wants to know, or we'll just wander over to pick something out. So give everybody a few seconds to any DX signs. Do not have any DX signs. The big standard, or just go sit in the Camaro. Yeah, we could go sit in the Camaro too. Yeah, we can kind of get to the big standard. It's kind of buried, but we can wander over that way. Let me peel this thing off of the stand. And we'll head over here towards the big standard. This is a big 6-footer. It's a pretty nice sign. A guy that I know, no Bricklands. I actually ended up with like 4 or 5 of these in one deal, and I bought one from him. This is in the original frame. Believe it or not, these were cut off the pole. All 4 or 5 of them he had, you can't see it because it's buried in parts, but down there at the bottom, the base of the pole where it was cut is actually sitting on the floor. So we'd add a wall sign to the story on Toy Tuesday. It could be a regular segment. Yeah, we can, especially these ones where we just have a handful of things to look at. It is a nice sign. It's double-sided, and it is about in the same condition on each side. I do have the flame holders. I do not have the flame. The flame was glass, just like a glass globe for a gas pump. The flame holder is also double-sided. I've got the other one back on the shelf since this wall is mounted flat again, or this sign is mounted flat against the wall. I just put the one flame holder up on top where it should be, and the other one's back on the shelf. So basically, this thing is a beast. It is big. It is heavy. I don't know what year this one was for sure. Yeah, I don't know how old it is. It's one of those, like they use on muscle car tires, but I don't know how old it is. It's one of these Goodyear Polyglass, but I've never checked the date codes on it. But there it is. That's the big standard. You guys have seen it in the background. We basically stood it on the floor, and then we built these corner brackets to make sure it didn't fall forward and tip over on us. Because 1, it would damage the sign. 2, it would probably damage the floor. And 3, it would sure damage anything that was in front of it. So there she is, the big, in-your-face standard sign. That was the big one up on top of a tall pole you'd see out on the highway. When they're up 40 feet in the air, they don't look that big. When you're standing right in front of them, they're big. So there we go. Great idea, number one. I'm glad you brought that up a few episodes back. Peter's here from Down Under. Always fun to slide some of those in to the episode. And it's a great addition to squeeze those in. So, Camaro seat time. It's pretty boring because it doesn't run. So all we could do would be sit in there, and that wouldn't be a lot of fun. Maybe we'll do that next time. But great idea, number one. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad we can squeeze that in. Because if you guys enjoy that stuff too, we can sure talk about it. And a lot of these signs, I can tell you pretty much where every one of them came from. So, no problem, Bill. I'm glad you got, like I said, hey, thank number one. It was his idea. He's the one that came up with that. And so, it's to give credit to him. He's the one that came up with the idea to, when we got a little bit of extra time, squeeze some of that stuff in. So, anyway, that's what I've got for tonight. Appreciate you guys swinging by and hanging out, checking out what we've got going on. Like I said, Sunday night, I will be on the road, so Sunday night's going to be kind of a crapshoot. I'm going to try to do something. If it doesn't work, I will get a post up, whether I'm going to be late or if it's just not going to work at all. So I'm glad you guys liked it. And like I said, we got hundreds more we can do. But we'll see what happens on Sunday night. Second gen column shift steering shafts and assemblies. All I've got are columns and parts cars is all I've got. Yep, I'm looking forward to hitting the swap meet. Looking forward to getting away for a couple days. I need a break. You all know how that gets to be at some point. So we'll see what happens Sunday. The swap meet isn't until a week from Friday. So we're going to take off a few days early and then kind of wrap the week up at the swap meet. So bear that in mind Sunday. Like I said, Alex is here. We're going to shoot for 7 o'clock Sunday like normal. If something changes, it will, I'll post it one way or the other. Whether we're going to be late, whether we're not even going to make it, whether, internet isn't working, who knows? Because I don't even know for sure where I'm going to be Sunday night. Depends on how things go the first part of the weekend. So anyway, that being said, thanks for stopping by tonight. Stay tuned. We got more cool stuff coming up. I hope you caught the Duesenberg update video last night, even though it was a little out of date because we shot that prior to them firing it up. But when they got it running, I could not put that up for you guys. So a little bit out of sequence there, but hey, we've got it up. I hope you guys enjoyed it and check out that amazing Duesenberg. Going to try to shoot some more new inventory tomorrow because I've got a ton of it to share with you guys. So we'll be definitely going to be getting some of that stuff up as well. That being said, I'm going to sign off, get back to work. Thanks for watching tonight, guys. And we'll see what happens Sunday night. No guarantees, but we'll try to get on even if it's for an abbreviated time and even if we're running a little bit late. We'll just see what happens. So thanks for being here tonight. Stay tuned. More cool stuff coming up this week, and we'll see if things work out for Sunday. Thanks for watching, everybody.